Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's May 3rd, 2013. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Cody Bills. Cody, let's jump into Fire Tip, see how the grains ended the week. As you can see, we had July corn down 3/4 cent. Soybeans picking up 15 cents there, the big leader to the upside. Chicago wheat down 7.5. Kansas City wheat off 12 3/4. If you guys want live quotes over at your home or office, visit us at grainhedge.com and you can take a no-obligation trial of the trading platform that we used here on GrainTV. Cody, certainly some interesting technical landscape kind of shaping up for old crop corn. I know we talked about that a little bit. What's kind of your take there?
Yeah, we had a huge move up on Monday this week in the corn, for the corn contract, and we were able to hold that gain by the end of Friday. Tuesday and Wednesday we did have a bit of a pullback, mostly because if you take a look at this chart right here, it is a daily chart, and you'll notice that each one of these candles represents 1 day worth of price activity. You'll notice we had resistance right here, and right here. And we touched on that early on this week. We were able to recover after some of the selling pressure on Tuesday and Wednesday, able to close out within striking distance of the highs that we printed on Tuesday. I think there's a very good chance that next week we go up and we close this gap. That gap would close at 676. And I think that will offer significant resistance if we get up there next week. I think if you have old crop grain, it might be a good idea. Just take a look at this. Keep a close watch on the price action. You might want to put a limit sell out there right around that 676 price level, because we have a lot of things moving this market higher. The weather for planting is just abysmal, but one of these days it's going to start showing windows of opportunity for farmers to get out there, and that's going to put pressure on the markets. I think you want to take advantage of this rally while it still lasts.
Yeah, absolutely. Today we did get some good information out from Planalytics. Once a week they release basically a green report which shows vegetative growth across the U.S. growing region. Take a look here at this map. The black line is where we saw substantial vegetative growth in last week's report. The yellow line is where we're now seeing it this week, and understandably, given the weather last week, we didn't see it advance very far north at all. Obviously, a lot of producers out there in northern Illinois, northern Indiana could notice that looking out their back door. But the big thing here to take a look at is the red line. This is where we see soil temperatures of 50 degrees or better, and as you can see here, most of Iowa is not in that territory. So certainly people are very anxious to get this crop planted, but right now Mother Nature is certainly not making things easy there. Is it going to improve here over the next couple days? Take a look here, 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. We're looking for below normal temperatures for much of the western grain belt. Out east we may see a planting window, but certainly not much of a change there in the western corn belt. Looking here now, 8 to 14 days, you can see this kind of swath of cold temperatures expected as kind of advanced north here. And as you can see, the area that really needs to warm up, needs to see more of that vegetative growth, is not expected to receive that here over the next couple weeks. Bottom line, people are going to be watching planting progress very closely next Monday. Not expecting huge gains there. Last week, if we remember, we saw 5% of the corn crop planted. Expectations are for, on Monday's report, about 15% planted, but certainly well below what we're expected to see at this time in the year. Normally, over the last 5 years, we've seen 55% of the corn crop planted here at this week in the planting season. So keep your eyes on that, but obviously that's going to be the big driver of these 13 corn futures.
Absolutely, and another big driver of the futures here this week, I think, is the cash market. We noticed some strength in the cash market for both soybeans and for corn. Soybeans on average across the U.S. was trading up 4 cents. We saw rivers up 3 cents. We saw the crush facilities, they were mostly unchanged. One of the things we did notice that the rivers really, they didn't offer a lot. They were down 3 cents. I want to correct myself there. Corn, however, they did have a very positive week, and really it was driven primarily by ethanol plants in Iowa, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They were up 10 to 15 cents, and that helped lift, on average, the U.S. cash basis up an extra 2 cents on average across the U.S. So the bottom line here, we did see strength. If you look at the corn basis, you'll notice that the Illinois River was relatively strong here, and that comes after a significant period where it was very depressed. because of the flooding. Well, the flooding is starting to subside a little bit. We're starting to see basis pick up along that Illinois River, and that's also helping out basis on average across the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like there's a lot of strength right now out of ethanol. Certainly, we've seen a very good crush margin here over the last couple of weeks, and our models are indicating that should continue here for the next couple of weeks. So if you guys are in a location there where you have a couple premium markets there, maybe take an extra close look at an ethanol facility there if looking at locking in basis. Might be able to gain a few cents there. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to give us a call here at the office. Our number is 877-472-4607. You know, I think that kind of wraps up, though, what we saw here for the week, Cody, in the grain market. Thanks a lot for joining us on GrainTV. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
I'll have to be honest with you. First thing I'm going to mention right up front is it's free. I like the service when it's free because, you know, you can tie up a lot of money in different services, and from experience I found out that sometimes you can pay a lot of money and you may not be getting that much out of it.